Public services are overseen by government and they're paid for by taxes. Traditionally, they're run by civil servants, but increasingly, they're being tendered out to private companies. One of the biggest of those companies is Serco, although there are loads of them, including G4S and Capita. Now, Serco is everywhere. If there's a government department for it, there's probably a Serco service for it. Except Serco call them markets. But let's try and give you a sense of the scale of this thing. Serco does everything from training helicopter pilots and national security personnel to managing naval bases, transporting people and munitions, to providing logistical support, to maintaining military aircraft. They also manage the UK atomic weapons establishment with Lockheed Martin and Jacobs. They maintain the Trident system and developing materials for it. They also run the anti-ballistic missile warning system, nuclear waste management, nuclear safety program, and they inspect nuclear plants. Their space and security specialists support Skynet 5, the UK military's secure satellite communications network, and they're involved at RAF Menwith Hill, the secretive signals intelligence gathering centre that's thought to be involved in GCHQ's Tempora Dragnet project. So it could be that they're helping the government collect data on you. Outside of defence, they manage prisons, they run electronic tagging systems, prisoner transportation, they run immigration centres, community payback programmes. Serco are involved in refuse and recycling, street cleaning, vehicle maintenance. They have occupational health services, out-of-hour health services, prison health services and more. They design, built and maintain Boris bikes for Transport for London. They have 70 leisure facilities, scientific research facilities, transport facilities, welfare programmes designed to get people back into work, and they set Greenwich Mean Time. And they're the world's largest air traffic controller. And there's a hell of a lot more, but lists get boring. Now, back in 2009, Serco's CEO Chris Hyman told The Telegraph, "The state sets policy, we only do implementation and management. If we started setting policy, I would be worried." Now, they still don't set policy, but there might be other reasons to be concerned, and these are just some of the problems that have cropped up recently. The government themselves have referred Serco to the Serious Fraud Office, alongside G4S, for overcharging on their electronic tagging contract. And it's not a small amount. They're accused of charging tens of millions of pounds too much. It's alleged that 1 in 6 tags didn't even exist. In Bradford, they were running the state school system for 10 years, but the regional head of the National Union of Teachers accused them of breaking contractual promises and offering very poor value for money. But they earned a reported £5 million in bonuses at the end of the contract. In Cornwall, they run an out-of-hours doctor's service, which MPs said wasn't good enough and didn't provide enough staff and failed to meet national quality requirements. And the problems in Cornwall only came to light after whistleblowers revealed Serco staffers were falsifying data to make it appear like they were performing better than they were. In response, Serco went through the employees' lockers to try and identify who leaked the information. That led to accusations that the company was bullying its staff, but they still have the contract. Then there are the community health services in Suffolk, which have been run by Serco since October last year. Already there are accusations that new staff are getting less pay, fewer days holiday and less sick pay, allegations that the care is getting worse and that staff are having to work longer hours. Serco says that all of their staff in Suffolk are on standard contracts, but in 2011 their CEO Chris Hyman reportedly earned just under £2 million. And it doesn't end there either. In the prisons, inmates have been found being forced to sleep in toilets during more than one inspection, and at their Thameside prison in Belmarsh, the inspectors found that 60% of prisoners were locked in cells for 24 hours a day. Margaret Hodge, the MP who chairs the Public Accounts Committee, told The Guardian that the government is incapable of protecting taxpayers while it outsources. She's also said that many of these public service companies are great at winning contracts, but not at delivering them. Now, Serco themselves say that they're improving services in Cornwall and that they've implemented new systems at the prison in Thameside. The CEO also says that they won't tolerate poor practice or behaviour. Now, if you thought Serco were just a British company, you're wrong. They operate in North America, Australia, Asia Pacific, India, Europe and the Middle East. They're truly a global operation and they operate in a dizzying amount of industries, and their speciality is soaking up public service contracts. In the United States, just as one example, they have employees working at the NSA along with dozens of other defense departments. Now, many people haven't even heard of Serco, but unlike most companies, that isn't a problem for them. The CEO, Chris Simon, once said this: "We are delighted when the public knows who we are, but really, we need to be known by the people who make decisions." And maybe that's just the point. If taxpayers knew exactly how much of their money they were paying for public services actually went to private companies and private salaries, then maybe they might be a bit more concerned about who was running them.